I feel my husband, M40, is likely cheating now and getting back at me. What can I do? I, F39, would like some advice please. I plan on protecting and saving my marriage. We've come a very long way to even reach this level. I'm going to share my story now. 2002. I was then 19 years old and he was 20. We've been dating for 8 months at the time when I started having an affair with his friend Tony, also M20. I was a stupid young girl back then. He caught us 3 months later in his house, he cried, he broke up and ditched his friend. A couple months later of trying hard to win him back, we started speaking again. I did everything possible to earn his trust back, went to counseling, answered all his questions, even hard ones too. Cancel girls' night out to be with him, became a better version of myself and never cheated again since. I was forever grateful to have him back. I felt like the luckiest girl ever. April 2006. Our relationship had gotten stronger by then. He proposed and said he forgave me completely and wouldn't bring up what happened, that it was all in the past. We moved forward and got married by February 2007. He had our first child the following year in 2008, our second in 2011 and our last one in 2015. They're now 14 years old, girl, 11 years old, boy, and years old, girl. Present day 2022. Besides normal arguments once in a while, unrelated to my past cheating, like any couple, our marriage was overall stable and strong. It was all good until the middle of June of this year. He's been suddenly turning everything into arguments, has come home late and drunk at 2-4 a.m. from clubbing with friends, has set his cell phone on private mode. Whenever it rings, he takes it with him, has created a password on his laptop too. I can't access it, and suddenly is working on double shifts. Then on those recent arguments he brought back my cheating past from 2002 and tried blaming me for his recent changes. He has been acting very secretive with his stuff, he never done this before. Why now? Why after 15 years later? I'm now 39 and he's 40. Why after all these years of a good marriage is he bringing back my past cheating? I could understand it if he was while we were reconciling at the time, but why now? He's likely cheating now, right? I guess I pretty much deserve this for what I did to him long ago. What to do? ? So according to Google, withdrawal from usual routine or relationships is a sign of midlife crisis. Might have nothing to do with your cheating in the past, but he might have started an affair himself and be trying to justify it in his own mind. Definitely sounds like he's cheating, but I'd talk to him and see what's happening. You were both very young when you got together and maybe he regrets that? He was never over it. He walked with these feelings for 20 years maybe without knowing it. Friend gave my address to her creepy friend that I went on a date with. I met this guy at my friend's 18th party who happens to also be one of her friends. Cute guy. Got along well at party, so we ended up going on a date. The date was extremely bad, and not to be dramatic but slightly traumatizing. He touched me in ways that made me very uncomfortable and I didn't feel like I could say stop, so I left abruptly and rejected him on text. First red flag when I told my friend was that she said, "Are you sure it's not your defense mechanism kicking in?" Why yes, of course, it must be my defense mechanism making me uncomfortable that this guy the first barely know is caressing my thighs while he is driving. How stupid am I for not coming up with that? Anyways, I let it go until she mentions him at a small get-together the week after. She says she wondered his POV of the date and asked him for what he thought of me. Then apparently he was like it would be awkward if we bump into each other again, and she replied, "Don't worry, she lives all the way in my suburb, in the pink-colored house next to his friend's house which he has been to multiple times, which is on my street." She apparently didn't think it would be a problem cause she didn't say my house or street number explicitly. She also told me that he is a nice guy that wouldn't do anything. Well, guess what? For the first time since then I, randomly, bumped into him today at the park in front of my house, with no friend in sight. He definitely knows where I live. I am so mad because why would she even bring the date up again knowing how much it fucking sucked for me? She keeps saying it was a mistake and she didn't mean anything bad of it and that they are close friends after all, but still. He isn't my close friend. IDK how to proceed with our friendship. Sounds like she deliberately told him where you live. She could have just said, "She lives near friend," but she described your house to him? Women know not to give out other women's addresses or phone numbers without permission. It's women 101. That coupled with her defense mechanism comment sounds like she's a frenemy. Or she's a meddler. Either way, beware. She's not a good friend. I would distance myself ASAP. As for this guy, do you live with your parents still? I would tell them about the situation and that you saw him near your house. She is not a friend and she doesn't like you. I've known strangers who've reacted more strongly to hearing someone say they were unconsensually touched. Ditch her. Put a camera outside of your house, and inform one of your male relatives, siblings, friends about this guy. I'm sorry that you have to deal with a situation like this. I found out my girlfriend slept with someone else. So myself, 25M, and my girlfriend, 22F, have been together for over a year. We separated due to a massive argument. We decided after a few weeks to cool off we'd try and work things out. We met up and had a very long conversation about this. I found out the day after we'd had this chat that she slept with someone else. She said it didn't mean anything and she did it because she was upset and angry. I'm so upset about this, and want to make things work between us, but I can't stop feeling betrayed by her. As I was upset and I was angry, but I could never have done this to her. What is the best way to proceed as I'm eating myself up inside about this? You'll never stop thinking about it. Move on. Break up and move on instead of holding this as resentment forever. If she slept with someone else after having the conversation about getting back together, she's absolutely in the wrong. If it was while you were broken up, that's more of a gray area. Either way, it's okay to move on if it's not something you can forgive. Part of the journey is to find out that you don't let people walk over you, don't let them take you for granted. I mean, she was upset and angry and because of that she cheated on you. Life is full of issues and problems and hardships. Do you want to doubt her every time something's not going smooth and easy? Move on. Leave her, dude. You're right. People don't just go sleeping around because they're upset and angry. This is not right, nor normal. Girlie acted like she's in a movie or STH. Time to say goodbye. Hand waving. Financial trouble after buying a house. Hello. My boyfriend, 28 meters, and I, 25F, bought a house back in May. We both have decent jobs and I have been saving up for renovations on the house. Last month my boyfriend had to borrow money from his parents because he couldn't afford the mortgage payment. I was so confused because he has such a good job and I have been paying half. His mother calls me the day of my birthday, which was last Monday, and tells me the spending needs to stop. I haven't touched his money. I was so confused. I try to sit down to talk to him about our finances, but he gets mad and yells. I'm so hurt and confused. Why is he taking his stress out on me? Why can't he tell me what's going on? Or am I reading into this too much? He's hiding something from OP, and lying to his parents, telling them that the problem is OP spending. OP, this is not a time to prioritize feelings. You need to know exactly why he can't pay the mortgage. Your financial health and future are on the line. The two of you have a mortgage together, which means you have a right to know why he can't pay the mortgage payment. If there's something up with his budgeting, that issue needs to be corrected before you're paying for the mortgage all on your own. It's kind of a red flag that he gets angry and yells when you try to discuss finances. It sounds like he may be hiding something. If he makes enough to afford the bills, then his money is going somewhere, and it doesn't seem like he wants you to know where. Attention! To anyone considering a mortgage with another person, you've got to know their finances and be able to speak to each other. Here's why.